Hey everyone, my name is Charles. I'm your host and this is Make Movies Now, a place where we help you be a better videographer and video editor using Davinci Resolve. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at how to use the Planar Tracker tool in Davinci Resolve Fusion to make this hologram effect. Alright, here we are in Davinci Resolve 16.2. We're going to do a Planar Tracker effect in Fusion. You can see I've got both my clips in the timeline. I've got one clip of my arm and the second clip of a data screen that I found online from some stock footage. What we're going to do here is use a Planar Tracker tool in Fusion to make it look as if this data screen is actually coming out of and attached to my arm. So what we do is make sure our clips are on top of each other here. You're going to highlight both of the clips. You're going to right click on your mouse and you're going to go to New Fusion Clip. Click on New Fusion Clip. Again, this will combine both of these two clips. And then once you have the clip highlighted, you're then going to go into the Fusion tab at the bottom here. It'll bring in the new screen, the new effects page. If you're new to Davinci Resolve, this is where most, if not all, of the effects will be added or applied. So a few quick housekeeping items that we're going to have here. We're going to make sure all of our nodes are clean. So we'll click on the media in 2. Click the number 2 on your keyboard. This will bring up whatever this is onto the main screen. You see this is the data screen here. So we're going to click on F2 to rename this as data. Click on the media one in, click number 2 again. This will be my arm. Click F2 to rename that. And we're going to shuffle things around here just a little bit. And we actually don't need this merge node for this effect, so we're going to hit the delete button here. Now you just have the arm connected to the media out. So I play through it here, arm enters, scrape the skin, and then we're going to try to show the screen here on my arm. So with that said, what we're going to use is the Planar Tracker tool. So click on the arm, we're going to hit Shift Spacebar to bring up our tools catalog. You're going to go to Planar Tracker and then click Add, and it should already show up on this connected line here. I want to go to the frame right after I scrape my arm. There we are. So this is the point that we're going to start using to track the detail in the arm. So in the Planar Tracker node, with this node highlighted on the right side in the inspector area or inspector tab, under operation mode we're going to click track. Reference time we're going to set. This is the key. This is the frame we're going to use for this video clip. Tracking point we're going to do hybrid/area. Motion type is translation, rotation, and scale. Just want to make sure if there's any change in my arm when it comes to the depth or the way that it rotates. We're able to capture all of that. We're going to keep output as background, tracking channel as Luma. The next piece you're going to see is an area that we will want to track. So you're going to create whatever area that you need. In this case, it'll be a square for the data screen that we're going to use. And then on the right side again, you're going to click on Track to the end of the clip. You see all the data points that Davinci Resolve is remembering here. And if you look at the end, something that happened here is it didn't go the full length of the clip. And the reason it didn't do that is because the tool got all messed up when my fingers crossed over that line, which is okay because we don't need it to follow that whole time, because again it's only tracking that data point on my arm. So now that the data tracking points are there, we're then going to connect this arm, we're going to connect the data screen to my arm. The last thing that we're going to need in this Planar Tracker tool, with it highlighted, we're going to go back to the top right inspector and we're going to click on corner pin. Now the corner pin is the screen where this new data screen is actually going to show. So you want this to be attached to my arm. There you go. Now we connect the data to the planar tracker by clicking on the right side of our mouse out of this output, hovering over planar tracker, and then letting go. You'll see a drop down of a few different things that you can use. We're going to use corner pin 1. And then to see the effect, you can click on immediate out, which is the final output of the video. Click on the number 2 so it shows up on the screen, and number 2 you can click on, or you can click on 1 depending on how much editing you're doing, how many effects that you have, because you can have things in 2 different screens here. So just if you're wondering what the 1 and 2 is for, the 2 is going to be primary, but again, if you want it to affect both of them, that's what it's for. Go back to full screen here. Now, this data arm, or I'm sorry, the data screen doesn't look the way that I want it to look, so we're going to make a few adjustments. So what we're going to do here, in the planar tracker node again, we're going to click this and we're going to change a little bit of the color, and then we're going to add some color correction, color gradient here. So under corner pin 1, hit the drop down, apply mode. There's a variety of different things that you can use here. I'm going to use screen. So with that, see through now, we're going to go to the data node, click on this, hit shift spacebar to add another tool or another node connected to the data. And this one we're going to use a color corrector. Click add. Again, it should show up connected already. And this is where we can change the color a little bit. So we want this to be kind of standout-ish, kind of bluish feel. So a few other things to make it pop a little bit more. We're going to change the gain and the gamma. There we go. Now let's go back to the beginning of the clip. And if you click on space, you'll notice it's there, and then it'll catch where we had the corner pin tracking. And then my fingers come in to show it off. So what we need to do is clean this up a little bit. So we don't want this data screen to show right now. We want it to be revealed after I scrape my hand. So with your mouse clicked on the color corrector, you're going to again do shift space. We're going to add a transform node. And this is a way that we can change the size of this screen. So the transform node, again, we want this to be shown right about here. On the right side with the inspector, we're going to click on the sizing of this. We're going to scale it all the way down. And we're going to hit a keyframe here in this diamond. It'll turn red. Tells the computer to memorize that frame. We're going to scroll over a little bit, and then we're going to have this size back up. Spacebar. And then right before my fingers come in, we'll have it go away again. Another keyframe here. Size it down. So the final effect would be this. So if you like what you saw, make sure to hit the like button below. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe and hit the bell notification to make sure you get notified every time I upload content, and drop a question, comment, or anything else below in the comment section below. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoyed.